What is going on? What's good people? Welcome to the podcast, the Correctly Mistaken podcast, alongside my brother, that man, that NBA champion, hung over from last night.
Yes, sir.
And he proved my ass wrong because we was on the talking yesterday on the text. My man, I think the Spurs gonna get it. And he pretty much like condemned me for saying that.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow, bruh. And if you wasn't good enough for a championship team.
Now, this is the thing though. The Spurs once again led by 16. I mean, every game of the series, like I think five first quarters, they led by more than 10 points.
Oh,
Every
bro.
game by double digits. Yes, every first quarter they had a 10-point lead or so in every game in the finals. Led every game by at least double digits. But like they say, man, it's 48 minutes. And yo, and that Spurs team and
They're just too young, man. They was just too young.
its youth. I mean, a lot of talent though.
A
Uh,
ton of talent. They just had a schedule.
Yeah, they had these man. Like nobody thought they were going to get there, man. And Wemby, um, got some growing to do. In terms of he is guy that's going to win the MVPs. He's going to be a
A
face.
perennial all-star.
Yeah, but I think he got a mean streak to him, which I like. I think some things he has to, pipe down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the, you don't be known as a dirty player, throwing elbows at Nas Reed and jacking up Jalen Brunson. I mean, doing little things. It was a physical series though for the most part. It was really, um, but the Knicks, man, just the way they walked them down, game in and game out. It was almost like it was all right. They got a lead, but this young team, they're not going to be able to close. They're not going to be able to really lock the game down like you need to, and you could see it. I mean, especially the game when they were down 29. They were up 29. I was watching it in the fourth quarter. I remember this telling myself, this is the dumbest brand of basketball I've ever seen. Because you can tell when they had no turnovers and they were aggressive and they attacked. I mean, they dominated them in a lot. I mean, just straight up. But
Big
like,
brother, man.
bro, but like, dog, it didn't matter. The Knicks didn't stop playing. They kind of figured out after. It's almost like um, always getting out to that fast start. Then the Knicks saying, okay, they got off to a start, but they got to sustain it, and we know how to walk them down, and we continue to play our game. And also, you got a superstar player, Jalen Brunson, who is now forever going to be the king of New York. I mean,
No, paying for no meals in New York ever again.
bruh,
He
bruh,
will eat free forever in
I
the
mean,
city.
I submit to you, is he even, the the greatest Nick ever? You know what I'm saying? Like in terms
Nah,
of
the old heads gonna have an argument with that. The whole Willis Reed and
okay,
Clyde Frazier and
well, okay, you can say Willis Whedon, anybody from that last championship team, but within the last 53 years and all the Knicks that came through and Ewing and Starks, and I mean this kid is a All NBA player, Finals MVP, won the Clutch Player of the Year, the inaugural. I mean, the dude, and he's a small guard. That's the crazy part about it.
second
Like
greatest small guard of all time.
small guard. Oh, hey, Isaiah Thomas may have a word.
That's why I called him the second greatest small guard of all
I
time.
think you said that first. I'm like, damn.
No. I called him the second.
I mean, he's
But
up
that's
there.
why I say he's the second because Isaiah Thomas is still around.
You know,
he beat Jordan. He got Jordan 3-1.
you know,
That's his record.
that man Zeke.
Yeah, that man Zeke was different.
That man Zeke was different. But I remember he had that ankle game when he tore it when he turned his ankle real bad.
Tied his shoes up and gave him like what 40 that night, 45 or something like that.
Remember they said when he took off his shoe in that game, his joint was like the size of a
He said
salt.
they had to cut him out and shoot that game now.
That's crazy.
At the end of the game, they had to cut him out the shoe.
You know that when you gotta get cut out the shoes, bro.
Thank
You know. But so man, congratulations to you, bro. I
Thank
can,
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
you know, and now after 53 years, I think the warmest one I saw, I don't know if you saw Monica McNutt. Did you see that? It went viral because she's the play-by-play caller for the Knicks.
Uh-huh.
After they won, just the emotion that she even showed, she did a good job holding in, but you could see the clear emotion and talk about a love letter to the city. It was really good. Um, even though fascism is at the door and stuff.
I mean, we got to deal with one thing at a time, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny. You tell yourself when you're watching the games, you're like, man, it's so great, but at the same time, it's like the fascists at the door.
Yeah.
They're just trying to take over and take away our black
We
district.
got we building concentration camps
They
in
concentrate.
our states.
It's like
But the next one,
the Knicks are the champs.
the Knicks is the champs.
They are the champs, and people like us who enjoy basketball is you want to definitely celebrate that, but it's like, man, there's so much other shit going on, and it makes you think sometimes. Even in this time that we're in now, it's like anything you think you're doing leisure wise, especially me, I always catch myself looking around like, man, I wonder if people really understand what's going on and kind of get a thorough understanding of what the agenda is based on the people in power. And for the most part, you you hope they do, and sometimes you get encouraged, seeing that they do. But man, then you say, well, look, if fascism is coming, we might as well enjoy
My
ourselves.
my team might as well win the chip. If fascism taking over, the Knicks might as well play good.
Hey, man, if it's taking over, man, we
The Knicks might as well play
might as
good.
well play well, win a championship, man, and, then let it ring. Then let
Yeah.
it ring. Oh God. It almost makes you feel like you feel bad for celebrating, but at the same time, like, look, we always was. It's just this time now that we're in.
Yeah.
We hope that people are paying as much attention to the Knicks winning championships to what's actually going on in our communities, and but definitely here, correctly mistaken, we're gonna make sure we do that. And while we're live from a land where we got this.
Guys like me, they built the country. I watch all these ingrates. They're always complaining, complaining. They didn't build anything. They couldn't build anything.
Today's another example of you bringing these everyday Americans into the White House and listening to them.
Yeah.
How important is it for you to listen to everyday Americans when it
Very
comes to
important.
policy making on a
These
daily
people
basis?
built the country, not the complainers. The complainers didn't build the country. These people built the country, whether it's fishermen or farmers or anything else. Me, guys like me, they built the country. I watch all these ingrates. They're always complaining, complaining. They didn't build anything. They couldn't build anything. Look at what's happened in Minnesota, Somalia. All these people came in from Somalia. They ripped off our system.
That was our very clear and present racist president, Donald Trump, discussing the fact that he built the country. And I quote, guys like me built the country. Not these ingrates. He actually said ingrates, which I thought that was pretty amazing. He actually called ingrates. Like, if you understand that the disdain, Donald, like I've been saying this about MAGA and about Donald Trump supporters for a minute. Like nobody has much disdain for their own supporters and their own voters as Donald Trump does. and what he thinks about people and how he literally says, "I built the country." Because these are once again the attitude of the billionaire, the elite class dynamic that believes that they actually built the country. That they're actually the ones that these ingrates, people that complain, they didn't do it, even though I never paid contractors. I hired contractors, didn't ever pay them. Hired companies to do stuff, didn't pay them. But even the people that helped me build things, I can't pay them. But I built the country. People like me. And I just thought that was interesting to hear. You see the dynamic. You see what this man really believes. He does not give a shit about anybody, nobody but himself. Clearly, and people understand the malignant narcissist that he is. But for guys to say guys like me, that's what they got really got me, punch. Guys like me, and let's say what he means. White men like me, we built this country. And ingrates, you ingrates that say something otherwise don't know what the hell you're talking about. And why they believe that they can speak for us, why they believe that they can make the decisions, why they believe a data center being next to a schoolyard is fine. The reason why they can put up concentration camps all over is fine because, hey, we guys like me built the country. So if we built it, anything that we put up, anything that we want to do, it makes sense. We should be able to do it because guys like me, I built the country. And it was funny. He even, at first, I thought it was interesting. I said, maybe he's not going to give himself credit. He's like, you got farmers and fishermen, and they built the country. And I was like, oh, he's not going to say he's giving somebody else credit. He said, well, guys like me, ding, 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 there it is. As the Kennedy Center knocks down his name, as inflation is at an all-time high, 4.2% since COVID, higher than wages right now. And it's so funny. They'll sit back and they'll tell you, well, it was at 9% with Biden, but it was at because of COVID. He got it down to under 3%. And now it's higher than Biden when Trump started office. I mean, but guys like him built the country. Man, what say you, Punch?
The only people, wealthy white people,
yeah,
hate more than minorities is poor white people.
Ooh, they can't stand them.
They hate poor white people. Despise them. But that's the whole makeup of America, though, right? The initial people that were supposed to make the rules, that were supposed to run the government and basically rule the land, were land owning white men, right? Whether they were incompetent, whether they were highly intelligent, and didn't matter as long as you were in that class of white men. That's not a belief that they've strayed far from.
No,
in the last 200 years,
nowhere near.
Right? Like you almost see more people trying to participate in that small class than actually like give credit and give access to all of us, like to administrate this land, right?
Condition people so much to think that it's all about getting access to that class, which is damn.
That's why everybody wants to be a billionaire. Yeah. That's why everybody thinks Elon Musk is a genius. He doesn't build anything.
Nothing.
Right?
Again.
He's not an engineer.
Nothing.
Right? He doesn't. He's just
Tesla and bought it.
And
and asked one of the terms to be called the founder. He didn't build Tesla.
Yeah. He's not putting people in space.
No.
He's not building those rocket ships.
As his IPO yesterday, Thursday, now he's a trillionaire. And based on SpaceX, are billions of dollars in government contracts.
That's why the narrative is if you do anything to reel in the billionaire class, they're going to leave. They create our jobs, right?
Yeah.
They think they're supposed to be some fealty to us. That's why that's why you see all that this thing.
Yeah, they really think they have ascended among humans.
Yeah. That's why you can see Jeff Bezos say that, oh, the lady making $75,000, my money can't help her.
Absolutely not. Can't do it.
Right? There's no, you can tax me all you want. She won't benefit, right? But they have that internalization because they've made money. And then again, people are so enamored with making with people that make money. The first thing I learned when I met rich people was that stupid people get rich.
A lot of them.
A ton of them.
A lot of them fell.
Like it's alarming how
Yeah.
many dumb people get rich.
And then it's a matter of them getting rich, what they did, and you.
Yeah,
It's all the factors around you because of the fact of your privilege and where you are. That's
yeah,
some kind of way that propped you up, even though
yeah,
legitimately a douche.
yeah. And that's how I feel about it. Like when you hear things like that, I mean, you can see it in the policies, right? You could when he goes, I don't care, or I think the inflation's good, or whatever he
I
said.
love
Like I
the
like the inflation. I love the inflation,
I love the inflation.
right? That we're just here, honestly, to support the vision of the elite, right? And they don't look at that's why socialism is such a threat to them, right? Because you have to share those riches, you have to share that credit amongst everyone that's involved in whatever you're doing, right? Like there's no business that that or there's no person that owns a business that can truly say I did it all by myself. You got all these people creating value for you, right? Like that's the truth of it is that your workers create value for you.
Could that be a no? I love
But your whole MO is that
it.
once I get into this class of people, right?
Yeah.
I'm the one recognized as as the person that did it. But
Here's Donald
that's
Trump saying of he loves inflation, because we want to play the clips. Could we bring it up? We want to say it in his words. It's Donald Trump right here. One of the pretty much vile statements that anybody else, this would end their presidency. It's just wild. But here's Trump.
Latest inflation number, which came out this morning. Could that be a
No, I love it.
For
The
Republicans
numbers
to
look
use to
great.
try and
You know what I
hold
really
on to
love?
the Senate?
I love the inflation. You know why? Because as soon as this war is over, I can say it now. Something you didn't know. Do you know we've been taking out millions of barrels of oil? Nobody knows it. You know who doesn't know about it? Iran until right now.
And then he tells a secret that nobody knows. But that was him right there saying he loved the inflation. And literally, as a billionaire, believing, it's not as bad as I thought, and making you think because he doesn't think it's as bad as what does Trump care about inflation for anyway? Why would a billionaire care about inflation? Seriously. But what do they care about it? That's why billionaires ultimately they don't have any moral compass because really whatever happens is not going to affect them. You know what I'm saying? Like if things occur, they'll be fine. So at the end of the
yeah,
day, and their money will be able to, and other people will be able to move based on the money that they have. So ultimately, they'll be fine. So then that's why you hear them when they say, well, inflation isn't that bad. Actually, I love the inflation because after this war is over, everything will drop. As if it doesn't matter that the American people right now are dealing with it. Higher prices, but he loves it because it wasn't as high as he thought it was going to be. That was legitimately his argument. Was not high as I thought it was going to be.
but I dare say that it doesn't matter that the common America is dealing with higher prices. They
No,
don't care.
they do not care at
It
all.
doesn't matter.
No, at
They
all.
they pretend, right? Like we
Republican,
truthfully we just actually have a president who's being honest.
yeah,
That's what's happening. He's just saying the quiet part out loud.
okay.
But these politicians don't care, right? Like we see, and thankfully you get an example of like a Mondami type character or politician where you can see what happens when a politician cares,
Clearly,
right? You
clearly.
can see how fast they work, how much it impacts the common person, right?
Mhm.
But the truth of it is that no, it doesn't really matter. The
You want-
American people will always foot the bill.
you see
We
what
always have.
all right.
Huh?
See what he's doing in New York now.
What do you mean?
Just his policies
Oh yeah.
and they try to tell you that it won't work. It wouldn't work across the country. It's
If
garbage.
if other cities want cities want their basketball teams to win a chip, they need to get some socialism.
Let me tell you something.
All right, if you want your sports team to succeed, a little socialism will work.
It's really the only way that we can go now.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, like when you're like, if you think about the conditions that they are, I heard Tim Miller the other day, and I think he even said it best. He was like, these dudes, because these are people that don't even agree. Because see, Tim Miller is a Republican, from the Bulwark, and he is conservative, and he has conservative values and beliefs in the tax code and what the government should be paying for. But he even said it the other day. He said this wealth concentration has gotten to. And I wonder if I can find the clip. But he said his wealth concentration has gotten to the point where now the only way that we're going to get socialism.
That's the only way it works.
These guys have gotten so greedy, and God forbid, they can't pay a fair share, they can't pay a certain tax rate to the point where they've gotten so greedy and so much wealth concentration that we're going to get socialism. It's like it has to shift to a whole other side. And that's what we're going to get. That's where we're going ultimately if we're going to get ourselves out of this thing. That's the only way that works. No more incrementalism. That's why the Democrat establishment is having such a hard time.
Yeah.
And that's why now I think over 50% of people don't even voters 18 to 35 or 18 to 29, they have a whole different thought about socialism. It's not a bad thing, and what it means and what it equates, because we're at a point now of wealth concentration, the wealth gap, that something has to. It's like a bubble.
This is what the Gilded Age looked like.
Say it again.
This is what the Gilded Age looked like with the robber barons and the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts and all those guys, right?
Yep.
The amount of abuse that's perpetrated to the Americans from the elite is right now. It's not much different than it was in the early during the Industrial Revolution, right?
They say where we are now, we're at these levels, at the wealth inequality, we're at levels we're at Gilded Age levels.
Yeah.
Basically, that's when Trump, if you think about the Gilded Age as well, that's when the tariffs.
And he said that's what he was ushering in, the new Gilded Age.
Tariffs were a big part of the Gilded Age, and basically that's when he believes, I think 1800. Is that your phone or me?
That's you.
What is that?
My phones don't make no sounds, brother.
Make no sound either, but what is that coming from?
Not a really good working phone over here.
Gosh, bro, like I wonder. Oh, I think that's my wife's her phone. Over there, her iPhone on the other side. But dang, but yeah, well, that's my train of thought.
You were talking about the Gilded Age, but
The Gilded Age levels of Gilded Age, where the wealth inequality, where he said that I think he even said it, I think between like 1850 to like 19, he said that he actually said the era, which is the Gilded Age era, when you had the wealth concentration was literally with like 5 families in the United States of America. And they basically controlled every aspect of life in terms of all the from the railroads to the steel mills to the factories. And to him, that's when America was at its best, when 5 families, or the top certain families, had all the money and controlled all the resources. That's what
same way now.
And it's that way now.
Yeah, 5 companies own cattle. 5 companies own energy. 5 companies own AI, right? Like, it's basically the same thing now.
Here's Tim from the Bulwark on the comments about socialism and where we're going.
You start a war and you do a supply chain shock with energy. You essentially take the Trump 2.0 agenda and you torch it,
Correct.
Which is what's happened.
But why haven't more people come around on that? And again, I would think that Chamath, for example, I know you don't like to speak for guys, but in theory, if you had a VC and you brought a CEO in and they're like, hey man, you invest in me right now, you get behind me, we're gonna have 6% growth this year. And then for 6 months later, they like stuck their dick in the fax machine and like screwed everything up, and now they're at 2% growth with maybe negative, with maybe going down from there. Yeah, you'd be like, okay, well, see, turns out we need some new leadership. I'm calling the board here. I have some concerns.
Yeah. So
why isn't that happening? Why aren't people like, we're calling the board here?
Very simple. Very simple.
Yeah.
Trump demands complete fidelity. I'm not speaking about Chamathi or anybody specific, but we all know in order to be in the Trump circle, you have to have complete, utter fidelity to him. He's a genius.
So it's North Korea. We're in North Korea.
Basically,
Which it doesn't feel like, again, like a capitalist system. It doesn't feel like a capitalist system. Yeah.
Well, it's.
I can't critique the president.
Capitalist slash, if you told a bunch of business leaders this could become oligarchic,
they'd say yeah.
They would be like, sign me up.
Hell yeah.
Sounds great.
And this is
oligarchy sounds pretty great.
This is why we're fucked, JCal.
For a short period of time.
Can we agree for a second? This is why we're fucked. This is why we're not going to get. You said you wanted normal. I'm sure you and I would disagree on the margins and what the marginal tax rate should be for the top tax bracket or whatever. But like,
maybe not.
I don't know. But we're not going to get normal because these guys have decided that they want to go on with oligarchy. They decided that it's cool for Elon to become a trillionaire. They decided that they can't abide any even tiny tax hike on capital gains rates or corporate. So what they're going to get is pitchforks and socialism. That's what they're going to get. Now it's coming.
I thought that at the point, that part at the end there was like, that's what we're going to get. That's all we need. That's all we can get, because now it's gotten to the point where they couldn't even abide by taking even the little bits of tax gain hikes and a little bit of tax and corporate tax hikes, just a little bit. When at the time in the 1940s, they were taxed almost at a 90% rate back in the 1940s and 50s. And it's got to the point now where it's so awful. Like this is, like you said, now I don't think we're fucked by having socialism, Tim. I don't agree with him there that we're fucked. I think actually it's going to bring about a different type of society if we had a society that actually went in from the inside out and actually went from the middle class and the working class, and then everybody else benefits. So I don't think that we'll be fucked. The people like Tim Miller, they may believe that, but ultimately he also understands that it's gotten so bad where now the only thing that we can do to actually rectify it is socialism.
Or we start eating the rich, one or the other.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and what he said at the end, that the pitchfork's going to be out.
Yeah, like it's either pitchforks or socialism.
That's it.
It's either we start dragging rich people out their beds or socialism. But people can't keep getting abused and suffering, and nothing happens, right? Like that's not a viable option. I was watching a clip, I don't remember who it was, and they were explaining why they didn't think taxing the rich was the answer to whatever the issue is, right? Because if you tax the rich, we get more revenue in the country. But our problem with in America isn't that we don't take enough taxes from people. Is that we do all this stupid shit with the taxes.
Yeah.
Right? Like the money we take doesn't go towards serving the Americans.
It doesn't go, and then when they do a tax cut for millionaires and billionaires, they take their money, they get rid of that revenue. They cut out, like you said, they cut out their revenue. So now they make tax cuts to cut out the revenue, and then the money that they actually use, they don't use towards the right things anyways.
Yeah.
Military industrial complex. And now you see it is legitimately building the president's empire to the point that he's made, I think, another $4 billion in net worth gains since he's been president. Some crazy shit like that.
It must be nice, man, to have the keys to the treasury, bro.
We say it every week.
Must be nice.
Putting the treasury. We say that every single week.
It must be nice.
It's relevant to say, because it's almost, you could see it's the biggest of grifts I mean, he's using the federal government and all this dollars towards enriching himself. I mean, his sons, the military. I was thinking about this the other day. The war in Iran has been beneficial for his family personally because we always said the minute this war started, then all of a sudden his family, the Trump boys, are into drones.
Yeah, now they're weapon dealers.
Yeah, they're weapon dealers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they're getting the government contracts. As soon as they invest in the company, they turn around and then get a major government contract towards that company. Why is that? Why is it?
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me that people tend to not to, we're dealing with MAGA and Republicans, how they have the nerve to continue to talk about the moral corruption and the people on the left and Hunter Biden and the Biden crime family. It's you just get so sick of the shit, man. It's just like, bruh, why do we keep falling for these stupid same old Republican? And it works because you see my Facebook where it's just right wing slop. And you see it working when people will sit there and regurgitate to you stuff that is the detriment to them for some kind of reason. If it's wrapped around owning the libs in some type of way, they're all for it. Like we've always said, the right has conditioned their people not to want and not to ask for shit. It's just what we can protect you from or what we can prevent by you voting for us. Not what we can do, is what we can prevent because the Democrats are this, that, and that. And whatever you want to put in with this, that, and that is, demonic, ungodly, immoral, the decay of society, groomers. What else? We can go down the line. Fascist, communist, however they want to call us on the left, however they want to go about doing it. It's always perfectly okay when their side does it because of what? For some kind of reason, it's righteous or it's righteous. It's like it's not legitimately, and it simply just keeps tending to beep. I don't even know what it is. It's just going to keep beeping, and I hope.
Oh, I didn't hear nothing.
Can you not hear it? Maybe
I didn't hear it beep that time.
Oh, you know what? Then I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something that's just playing with me internally.
Uh,
No, but it's just absolutely.
my
Go ahead, bro.
the thing that amazes me is that Republican constituents think that they're going to have the same access that their politicians have, right? And it's like the president says we're going to reintroduce or bring you back to the Gilded Age. Like you were a part of the Gilded Age. You're not welcome.
You're not welcome.
The people in the Gilded Age are already there. They have money.
You don't.
Yeah, if you're poor in a rural state, or in a rural city or a town with one light, or you're in farm country, you're not allowed to be part of the Gilded Age. It's not for you.
It's not for you,
right? That money that's in the president's pocket now is because Republicans constituents said, yeah, that's what we wanted.
They said, well, it's better off for him to have the money in his pocket because if not, those crazy leftists are going to run stuff.
Because he's a businessman and he knows he knows how to run a business, right? But that's the same thing. That's the whole plot line is that they're enabling this because they think if they protect it in some way, if they just work hard enough, they'll also be allowed to participate. And the truth is, not only will most people not get rich, you're still not invited to the party. That dude, Elon Musk, is a trillionaire.
Trillionaire.
You can't hang out with Elon Musk. And they said he made what 4,000 millionaires in this IPO, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to the billionaire parties,
No,
right? That shit gets taxed,
big.
right? If they want to touch that, it gets taxed,
Yeah.
right? If they want to feel what that $1 million feels like, it's getting taxed. They don't have the luxury to go to the bank and be like, well, I got all these shares and I just want to leverage these shares in value so you give me this loan. You're going to pay for it. You're not the business owner. When you want actual money, you will get taxed. And guess who that money goes to? Them subsidies of them oil companies, them subsidies of them tech companies, them subsidies of them weapons companies and plane companies. And it ain't for you. And that's the weird part to me, is that it doesn't matter how much evidence, the 200-year history, that there's always been one party that wants to concentrate wealth and power to a small group of people. That's the whole voting situation. That's why all the Republicans are running around saying, well, California is rigged and they can count votes in Florida the same night or tally votes the same night as in why can't California do it? They don't want access to voting in Florida is super strict. Everyone don't have access to it.
And at one point in time, you make it about, well, you know what? Let me not. I won't say. Let him say it. This is ultimately why. This is what they're doing too. This is how the Republicans, in terms, they get people to believe, to vote to get their best interest. And this is the kind of the main reason why. This is James Comer, Representative James Comer, talking about fraud and talking about stuff in this country. And watch what he says here. And you see the same old stuff that they're playing, the same old games that they're playing here, of why ultimately you have poor whites continuously voting against themselves because what they have done to condition a lot of those poor whites, that majority of that 178 million that we talk about in this country. Here's James Comer.
So much fraud in the Medicaid program in particular is because that's federal money that goes to the states. Then the states administer their own Medicaid programs. And what we're seeing, especially in the blue states, is there's rampant fraud, especially in the minority communities, and they're turning a blind eye to it for political reasons. That's the bottom line. That's what those state employees in Minnesota said, and that's what's happening. And I think the only way we're going to stop it is if people are put in jail. And
Do you hear what he said there? He said fraud is rampant, especially where? In minority communities.
Yeah.
So then once again, you get the old saying, see, white folk? See, the fraud is rampant. And all it does, it goes into minority. They take all the money, these minority communities, and they take it from you, and they put it in there. And then the fraud is rampant, and this money that you need all goes to them. The money that you need, the money that all the support that we're fighting for as Republicans. See, we're trying to stop the fraud. And that's why you're not getting what you need. Because in the minority communities where fraud runs rampant, once again, saying fraud is rampant in the community with no evidence. Just
it doesn't matter.
The California race with Pratt, just no evidence.
200 million votes casted over the last several elections.
It was like 39.
And wait. The worst part is that if you listen to what they say, like you listen to Mike Johnson and they ask him, well, all right, where's the evidence? And he'll go, well, I mean, it's just obvious.
Well, what he said,
you know,
it's so much evidence. It's almost impossible to find.
Yeah, right. Like there is no like onus on them to actually create evidence because the people they're talking to don't need evidence. These are people that want to believe that the election is rigged. These are people that want to believe the immigrants are stealing your health care. These are people that want to believe that we have a housing crisis because we let refugees in the country, right? Which is why you don't actually have to provide evidence. You either want to believe it or you're too stupid to produce a counter thought to it. You fall in one of those groups, right? Because you could easily go on do an AI search, read an article, read a poll, or anything, a study, and find out that these things aren't true.
Here's Mike Johnson talking about the elections in California this past week.
Saying it's rigged like the president?
I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm saying it stinks to high heaven, and everybody knows that. Let's remove the appearance of impropriety. Let's have what a concept. Let's have votes on an election the day of the election.
Now, just as President Trump is saying that the
Possible to prove, but I think some of these efforts are so diabolical and so far upstream it is impossible to prove. But I think
one more time.
Some of these efforts are so diabolical and so far upstream it is impossible to prove.
That's it. Do you see that? We don't have to give you some of this stuff is so diabolical and so upstream. They're impossible to prove, but it's happening. It's so diabolical and so upstream. It's impossible to prove, but it's happening.
But I think everybody knows instinctively something is wrong here, and that's a concern.
But instinctively, people know what's going on here, and that's a concern. So there it is. See, you say present evidence, they say, well, no, it's so diabolical. It's so upstream. You can't prove it. But we know something stinks to high heaven. How can you say it and have no evidence to prove it? And once again, when you say evidence and you ask the question of evidence, you get a meltdown, starting with the president and started there with Mike Johnson. You see the trigger, how he was triggered there and how he got a little emotional because he has to play the role. They know, right? These people are not stupid.
No.
They're not. They understand that
it's concerted. It's a concentrated effort.
It's crazy. It's a concentrated effort to sit here and then Trump says the other day, because of the fact that Hilton, because they were crying about election integrity in California, and then Steve Hilton actually ended up winning. So now you're gonna have Republican versus a Democrat, and pretty much you're gonna have Xavier Becerra. I think he's gonna end up winning, obviously, because
for sure. Because Republicans suck. And the California is a Democratic state.
And then he says, you know, what happened, I got on him hard enough. And that's why Steve Hilton won, because I gave him hell about it. I gave him so much hell. They decided to go right. And
they decided to not rig the election because the president, he was so mean to whoever he talked to that we was like, yeah, we don't want to rig this election, even though we're rigging it for ourselves.
And then what they don't understand is that Spencer Pratt is who what's her name? Barbara Lee? Is she Karen Bass? Karen Bass is the mayor of Karen Bass, who's an establishment candidate. She's an establishment Democrat, always been. She wanted to go against Spencer Pratt.
Yeah, 100%. She didn't want to go against the progressive.
Now she has 18. Right now, the last poll said that he would have lost by 18 points. But against her, I think Naheem Raham, if I'm saying her name wrong, I apologize. I'll look it up.
Neithia Rahman.
Say it again.
Neithia Rahman.
Neithia Rahman.
Yeah.
Against her, Neithia Rahman has a 4-point. She has a 4-point edge in the mayor race. So she goes from up 18 to Pratt to down 4 to Rahman, which they don't want because guess what? She's actually a progressive candidate. And the Democrat Party, the establishment, they hate us. They hate progressives.
They hate their constituents.
They hate us.
They don't even just hate the left.
No.
They hate their folks.
They hate their folks because the whole Israel, because even the liberal base is starting to be toxic on Israel, and that's already hard. So they're already dealing with what's on the left about Israel. Now they're dealing with the liberal neocons or the liberal, even neocons talking about Israel and or if they may believe in some type of warfare for some kind of reason, they're believing now. Even Trump said it today, talking about Bibi, because they decided to attack Beirut the other day when they tried to have this memorial, what's a memorandum of understanding.
The MOU.
That they're trying to get.
They love themselves a good name there.
They're trying to get themselves to sign, and Israel keeps bombing Beirut. They're like, "Yo, what the fuck's up?" So you see, they're so negative on them. The Democrats Party hates progressives. They hate the left. That why do you think all of a sudden now it went from voting blue no matter who to now not acting like it really matters if Graham Plattner wins it now? Now they're doing the attitude, well, he's the nominee. He's the nominee. It really doesn't matter. He's the nominee. We're literally saying, so what? Do you rather have Susan Collins, who's voted with Trump over 95% of the time, legitimately voted with the MAGA death cult? So they hate leftists so much. They hate progressives so much that they will figure out a way to make it Susan Collins look appealing. Because at the end of the day, they don't know Graham Plattner's politics. Us on the left, we're worried about being Fetterman. And the establishment is worried about this guy actually being a progressive, being in that Senate seat, and how much of a headache that's going to be to special interests and to donors, which ultimately Democrats don't want to be a headache to their donors. But Graham Plattner will be. And on the left, like I said, we're worried about being Fetterman.
Yeah.
But then it's almost like if they go down him so hard, because I don't remember them attacking Fetterman like this, and they're going at him so hard, maybe he really is a progressive. And it would be great.
Maybe he really is a progressive.
Maybe he really is.
That's my concern.
That's been my concern as well. Even the other day, he has said some things where it got me like, look, I believe he said the other day, I thought that was really important. He was on an interview with Ro Khanna, and he was saying that if we want a transformational politic, or if that's what we want as the working class, transformational politics, we have to believe that people have the ability to transform. Like if we're going to want a movement of people, it's going to come from us. Like to stop looking up at leaders and think, well, if you got a pristine background, or you went to Yale University, or you went to some Ivy League school, only you have the ability to lead people towards a better humanity. As if you had a past and you made mistakes and you were in a dark place at one point in time and you came out of that, you're not viable to lead. Only us. And then you see all the time these cats get caught in their background doing shit all the time, doing time after time. Presidents, our leaders. But for some kind of reason, with Graham Plattner, he's a problem because of his past, and we possibly can't. Because it's funny, you do realize how even though with John Fetterman, even though what he has become to be, the establishment doesn't attack him at all. You do realize that the Democratic establishment has no.
I've never really actually thought about that.
They have no problem with him.
They have no problem with him.
They ever said nothing.
I mean, we'll say, oh yeah, we don't like the John Fetterman voted with them, and we just don't understand what he's doing. But he's not getting a hit piece.
No, he's not getting a hit piece.
He's on all the shows.
On every show.
For some reason, I see that dusty ass hoodie every time, everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? They asking this dude what he thinks about shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. They've never no hit pieces on him.
They no hit pieces at all.
Yeah,
I mean he's just been fine. He legitimately became a Republican almost overnight.
Yeah, he is a Republican.
The Republicans love him.
Yeah, he's a pro-abortion Republican. That's what he is.
Exactly, they love him, and the establishment says nothing. No hit pieces, nothing dragging his character, none of that shit. Even though you can look back at some John Fetterman viral videos before he became senator, he did some real choppy shit.
Yeah, pulled that gun on that black guy in the field.
That's what I was talking about.
I saw it before they voted for him.
I didn't even know it.
I knew it before they voted for him because that was part of the story, right? Yeah. But even then, he was running as a more progressive Democrat, and they brought it up.
Yeah,
but now he's a Republican, basically. and they don't even talk about it. We
Not-
never hear about his issues, the way he's talked to people, and his comments
Nope.
on the internet. You know, and
Nope.
we never hear that now.
No, we hear them talking to this man's ex-girlfriends, Grand Platinum ex-girlfriends, and saying stuff like unsettling. Some woman said he was great, even to the point where Mika. Did you see Morning Joe?
I don't. You know, I don't. I hate Joe.
But Mika interviewed
I hate Joe.
to the point where she like, because MS Now is an establishment network. They are most of them are liberals. Some of them are former Republicans. Most of them used to be from Jen Psaki being in Biden's administration. What's the I'm looking at her from Deadline. Nicole Wallace used to work for George Bush. Michael Steele was the head of the RNC. He was the chairman of the RNC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of these people where used to be, MS Now is that establishment network. And the other day he Grand Platinum, because now it's funny, once he wins, and now because he's the nominee, they gotta pull him in, they gotta talk to him. Like Mandami, when he won the nomination, now it's like, damn, they have to talk to them. And then Mika literally asked him, now mind you, they're calling this all scandals, when the only woman, the New York Times couldn't corroborate any of the stories, first of all.
Yeah, it's a lot of he said, she said, and then none of it's actual, like.
She worked for the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah.
She's a Republican operative, literally. She started the Ladies for Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
She's the only one that said he was, physical and unsettling.
Oh, it was just him? It was just her?
Yes.
It wasn't. Hey, wait, and the person that wrote the story got an APAC award.
Yeah. You seeing that?
Yeah, she got an APAC award. I saw that too.
You see that?
And it's like, and I don't want to. If there were women harmed in his life, I don't want to discredit that, right? No. So far, from what I heard, I haven't heard anything criminal yet, right? No sexual assault, no physical abuse.
Podcast.
So it's like I don't want to discredit what they're saying.
Well, no, you're not.
But the issues.
But this is the thing, bro. Everything isn't you have to look in, because somebody says it. It doesn't mean every level of accusation is different in terms of how do you. Not all is equal. In terms of somebody says something, they say it. Okay, now where's the proof? Right? Where do you show? Where's the evidence? Where's the corroboration?
And even if they were able to prove it, each action isn't weighed the same, right?
Oh.
If I have a politician that was bad to his girlfriend, or they had a bad relationship because he was mean and not emotionally available, whatever those things, those don't weigh in my consideration for if he could do his job as a politician, right? Those aren't things that I'm actually weighing heavily, right? If you do have a history of sexual assault, right, and misconduct, and
he doesn't have that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're acting like these issues that he's had in his relationships are things where a woman has come out and said, no, he raped me, right?
Yeah.
Like Eric Swalwell, a woman came out and said, no, he sexually assaulted me, right?
And then he left because I guess it was really a best kept secret. A lot of people kind of knew that was.
And they said, "Oh yeah, Eric Swalwell's a scumbag."
Yeah, he's a scumbag. He looks scumbaggish.
Like known, like he keep your aides close because Eric Swalwell he'll try to do some little nastiness with them, whether they like it or not. That's a little different. And so far, I haven't heard that from
No, because
anything in his past. It's just the media.
it's saying unsettling. He was unsettling, in relationships. And there's time. And the one that Michelle, I think Lindsay Eiffel, I can't remember her name, but she was the one that said it. And she's legitimately works for the Heritage Foundation as a Republican. And that was, well, it doesn't matter. Well, it does, because we don't believe her. I don't believe her.
Yeah.
There's no corroboration. She's the only one that said it. Nobody corroborated the story. There was no 2 or 3 people to confirm it. I don't believe her.
Yeah.
But then Grant Platter talks about how he was in a dark place. He talks about these things, and he said that he wasn't the best boyfriend, wasn't the best man going forward. But in terms of being somebody, it was consensual, this situation. And here's Morning Joe Mika asking Grant Platter this very question. This is ridiculous. Check this out.
Ask you this way. Can you just talk about the nature of the sexting in terms of, can you call for the release of the Epstein files? And can you call out those who have abused women and not be conflicted in any way?
That's a stupid question.
I engaged in consensual romantic activities with adults at an earlier part in my life. That seems like a fairly normal thing most people do. Going to an island with billionaires to possibly assault children is a vastly, vastly different thing.
So, do you see how stupid that was?
Vastly different thing.
Do you see how stupid? I remember watching that live. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Because God forbid that they talk about the issues that Grant Platter is that's running on. They don't want to talk about,
They won't talk about anything he's saying.
They don't want to talk about any of the populist issues.
Health care for all.
Yeah, no.
Free child care. None of that shit.
No, we get the issues. We don't want our viewers to hear about the actual issues and what you're running on and what we need. So you're sexting with grown women, consensual sexting, and exchanging messages with grown women or dick pics. Do you think that you can actually call for the and then I like what Graham, I mind you, I appreciate his demeanor, because I would have probably went off. But the way he answered the question was like, no, and an island with young girls, I was consensual adults. But that's the questioning that she's getting from liberal media. Because Mika, and if you saw that video, how she was looking so serious, Punch, she was looking to the camera so seriously, and she had her eyes, she was really looking, I'm a deep journalist, and I'm asking deep questions, and here it is. Since you were sexting women, consensual, growner, older women, all consensual, how can you call out Jeffrey Epstein if you're sexting with grown women? What? What?
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing. That is establishment media trying to figure out a way, because they do not want this man to win. That's why I feel maybe we're not getting Fetterman. I don't know.
No.
But at the same time,
we could. I'm just saying, you still could.
We still can.
You still could.
You see what they're looking to do. Do you see that question? I think that was insane. I almost pulled a dread out of my hair. I was beside, and I had to rewind it, because first of all, I was like, hold on. What question did she ask?
Yeah.
And I had to replay it and say, are you kidding me? I mean, I can imagine the people around her that were off camera, they had to say, like, what the fuck? Like, because they're trying so hard not to discuss, because if you remember this too, Punch, they all want to talk about all these accusations through the New York Times, but nobody wants to talk about what Grant Platter is actually running on.
Yeah.
That conversation is not being had at all.
Yeah.
That conversation is not.
They use that 5-minute spot to add more slander.
That's it. And just smear. Because at the end of the day, just how I think Fox News did like that the other day, and I see I could find that clip where they were going after a leftist and saying the policies that she wanted, and they were reading them out, and it was like, yo, don't threaten me with a good time.
They got to read it like, free health care?
I'm going to find
higher wages? Oh, I can't believe They want safer streets?
What?
What mental health facilities?
Don't want to talk about any of that shit. They don't want to talk about what he's running on. They want to talk about what? Trying to figure out a way to smear him. And that's it. Because at the end of the day, they understand if this man is what he said he is, and he gets in his seat, he's going to give us problems. And matter of fact, going to actually have a politic that's going to try to hold us accountable and get us to deliver.
Yeah.
To deliver. And that's the problem, man. It's unbelievable.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. It's hard for us to deal with the right wing of this country because we too fucking busy dealing with our own establishment.
The establishment Dems would rather deal with Republicans than deal with progressives.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week. Any day of the week. Here's that clip we were talking about right here on Fox News when sometimes they accidentally say the wrong things or they say things where if they're not careful, this will sound appealing to a right winger. Here it is the other day on Fox News.
Right here. This is going to be a factor in the midterms. I mean, here we are in primary season, Congressman. Socialist Democrat Francesca Hong is running for governor in your state. She's been endorsed by Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Her policies include free child care, a minimum wage of $20 an hour, publicly owned grocery stores, obviously increasing taxes on the rich and the highest earners. And she wants to ban the construction of data centers, Congressman. Your thoughts?
Well, the Democratic primary for governor in the state of Wisconsin mirrors Democratic primaries in my congressional seat and others across the country. Radical Democrats are moving further and further to the left, and that's where the base of the Democratic Party is. You can look no further than the mayor of New York City to recognize where the base of the Democrats are. And so it's these types of policies that we're working against, and we need to make sure that we're out there working through this midterm to overcome these types of radical Democratic proposals, is why I'm actually really excited. President Trump is coming to the state of Wisconsin this Friday to talk about the reforms that we're making at the national level. He's coming to Derek Van Orden district, another competitive seat that is going to be our opportunity to hold the House and to continue to advance President Trump's agenda nationally.
Now, that's some loser Wisconsin congressman. Did you see how Maria Bartiromo, how she ran it down?
Wait, he called free healthcare a radical ideology. Free childcare is radical ideology.
I love you, brother, because I took the same thing from that. Radical.
It's radical.
That helps the person.
Your minimum wage, although still not livable on $20, that your livable wage is higher than fucking $6, right? Like, if your wage grew, I think there was like if wages grew at the same proportions of like profits for the business owners and the corporations, if wages grew in those same manners, like the minimum wage would be like $60 an hour.
Yeah, if it met with inflation, what the wage? I think.
Yeah, but like if it grew with like the cost of living,
yeah,
it would be like $60 an hour.
Wages kept up with inflation.
But it's radical to think.
Radical, bro.
It's radical that you should have $20 an hour while you're at your job.
You should actually be able to make a living wage that you can actually feed your family.
It's radical. You make $180 or $160 a day.
That's radical.
And pay taxes on it. That's radical to the Republicans.
Yeah, and they make sure they say those key words: radical,
ideology. That means because you think it, like if you think I should have more money in my pocket when I go to work, I'm radical.
That's radical.
That's crazy, bro.
Any policy, like that's how they gotten there. Any policy that benefits people, the working class, the everyday person, that's radical, because then how do we pay for it? As we are legitimately spending $1 billion a day in the Iran war. how we're legitimately spending billions in government contracts where people are making money. But then the question is, how do we pay for it? Anything that benefits working class people? That is too radical. Trump even said that we can't pay for daycares. We got to pay for war. That money for daycare.
That's insane.
Making us think, and like over and over, it's almost like it's so frustrating until you wake up, and when you see it, like people like ourselves and our audience, when you realize that we're being given a bill of goods.
We're not even being given a bill of goods, man. They're just bending us over the barrel, man. That's what they tell us. They tell us this is our cost of freedom, bro.
But no KY.
Yeah. They not taking us to dinner. They not kissing us afterwards. They not doing nothing, bro.
Not even on us
they not. Hey, to think that making $160 a day is radical, because that's how much you make if you work an 8-hour shift at $20 an hour.
Yeah.
$160. I can spend $160 right now. Not in a couple of minutes. In a couple of seconds. Like if I wanted to just spend $160, that's dinner if you go out with one other person.
And see she's actually rising in the polls because she's running for governor of Wisconsin. Like look how she runs these down. This is radical to the Republican Party.
Radical.
Here, a minimum wage of $20 an hour. Publicly owned grocery stores, increasing taxes on the rich and the highest earners. And she wants to ban the construction of data centers.
And she wants to ban the construction of data centers. Are you kidding me? She wants free health child care. She wants to ban data centers. I mean, Congressman, she wants publicly owned grocery stores. Congressman. Tell me why this is radical. And then had the nerve to say that's why Donald Trump's agenda needs to be implemented, as inflation's at an all-time high since COVID.
Yeah,
and people understand when they talk about Joe Biden, what was that 9%? Joe Biden inherited inflation. He inherited a pandemic, and then Russia invaded Ukraine. There's a lot of reasons why, and even after all those reasons, we were still the lowest in the world. The reason why we have an inflation right now, why it's over 4.2%, why it's running hot, is directly because of the choices of the President of the United States. His policies are directly responsible for inflation. Joe Biden didn't have any policies that made himself responsible for inflation. He inherited. And then Donald Trump did 2 stimulus bills. Joe Biden did 1. That had something to do with inflation, but it was still the lowest in the world. Donald Trump's decision-making has led to this inflation.
His decision-making led to the last one, to the 9%. That was because of a horrible mismanagement of COVID. And 1 million people died.
Million people died.
That's a lot of fucking people.
Telling people that you don't need, it's going to go away and not a big deal.
1 million people, bro.
I'm just here, man.
Remember that? A year.
1 million.
It's not even like, a couple of decades. This is 1 year. So not only did his decisions lead to what eventually became 9% inflation, it also killed 1 million American citizens.
Thank you.
That's negligence.
And you sit there and say, Biden was at 9% inflation. Why? What happened? What occurred?
And what policy if he was so bad, what policy did he implement that made it worse? Right? Like if Biden's policies were so terrible, right? Why aren't we at 11% inflation?
Exactly. Why are we at 12, 15?
Right? Why did it go all the way down?
And it was down under
obviously. Obviously, inflation didn't go down because of him.
He got it.
He got it to 9%. So it didn't go down because of him.
It was at 9%, and then by the time he left the presidency, it got all the way down to under 3. like 2.8%, somewhere roughly, where usually that the average inflation, because you do get inflation built in regardless. So it's like 2.8% that you want to stay around. And it went from 9%, and he got all the way down to under 3% when Donald Trump started office in 2025. And now it's back to how it's higher than it was when Trump started his second term. Why? Because of tariffs, because of this war. Direct reasons, direct action has caused this inflation. Donald Trump caused it. He is the reason why stuff is high. He is the reason why gas prices are high. And right now, people are seeing this, kind of this gas price steadying at 3 something. They're like, oh, wow, okay, maybe it's not as bad.
I don't want to get used to my gas being $4 a gallon.
But let me tell you, there's 3 letters reason why right now. SPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Right now, we are in our reserves. Because usually we have what they call the SPR, where we have petroleum that we have in reserves just in case for things like this, and we can unlock it to kind of keep the gas prices low in the event of something that causes gas prices to hike. So now we're in that, but within the next couple of weeks, we're going to run out of that. The only reason why gas is over $5 is because we're using our reserves. That's it.
Well, we got the memorandum of understanding in place, so.
Oh, sorry, Bunch. Sorry.
Yeah, you forgot about the MOU, man.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, the memorandum of understanding.
Memorandum to understand before we even start a deal. We have to understand what we're all doing first, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got the memorandum of understanding is going to bring these prices down and get the oil flowing out of the strait and, get stuff back to normal.
The strait that was open on February 27th, the strait was open. It was freely for anybody to use it, to and from. Now it isn't. And the 20% of the world's global trade is pretty much to a halt. Pretty much. And that's what we're dealing with. These decisions that have been made are causing the economy to tank, causing the GDP to shrink, causing 180,000 jobs created all of last year. All of last year. I mean, what we're facing, this is self-infliction at its highest, and this man is getting ready to sit down and watch a UFC fight for his 80th birthday.
If it don't rain,
that'd be great.
They said they're looking at chances of severe thunderstorm watch last until 11 p.m. Sunday. Pack that shit up.
But it's the tarp. And all that they did is it's just like, bro, this the desecration of the White House. I mean, and like at the end of the day, it's not like I'm all,
patriotic about that stuff. I don't really care.
I don't pick up about that shit either, and I really don't give a fuck about him doing that.
Yeah, throw a fight at the White House if you want. I don't care.
Like every little shiny thing he does that we should not pay attention to.
Yeah, but throw a $60 million fight at the White House.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, did he use our tax dollars for it? Maybe some of it, I'm sure.
Probably. Yeah,
but
some of them agencies were paying for.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lose my mind because the stuff that he's doing that's much more damaging. The shit that we need to be paying attention to.
Waste, fraud, and abuse, man. There's other waste, fraud, and abuse that we could pay attention besides the $60 million fight at the White House.
Of our money, I'm sure.
Or the what was it, $400 million ballroom that he's trying to build? Didn't he ask for $1 billion for it or some craziness like that?
Which the Republicans actually told him no, though. They didn't put that in that bill. And they didn't because now, he's been pissed off enough senators because he didn't got to remove from their spots where now they're no longer going to be senators come January 2027.
The Republicans love to oppose.
I like what John Cornyn did say the other day. He might have a rough 2 years because he's been pissed a lot of these senators off. And we'll see how much that materializes because at the end of the day, I think they still bitches. Still, yeah. I think they still scared of his ass.
Yeah.
Still for some kind of, he holds a lot of weight. Yeah, you may have a couple, but at the end of the day, until they do it, they ain't gonna do it. I want to see.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I really want to see them, but he still come down. They be like, nah, fuck you.
And then we give ICE another $70 billion.
They still think that I think they're trying to do that reconciliation. Another $70 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
$70 billion. But we can't afford to feed kids as she triggered me. Secretary Rollins the other day, she's the agriculture secretary, talks about how we lifted 4.1 million people off of SNAP back into the American dream. No, you didn't, bitch. You knocked off 4.1 million people off SNAP. And then saying it's the American dream. Oh, no, that was waste. Oh, that was waste. Oh, really? Oh, and it's waste. You know why? Because, like Comer said, it's rampant in minority communities. See, and it goes back to the same old trope. So, where do you go? Let's go back to the old hits. Let's blame black folk. And let's, once again, tell them reason why you can't have nothing, because the black people doing all the fraud and they taking all the money.
Damn Somalians in Minnesota.
Somalians.
Yeah, all the Somalians in Minnesota is where all the fraud in the country is.
All the fraud in the country is.
Right, yeah.
All 49 states, they have successfully just extracted money from all those states, and all the fraud.
They sent it back to Somalia.
Somalian population in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But the thing is, it's actually an effective tool, because once again, one thing that Republicans do, they will tell you the problems and give you something to blame. Now, they don't want a solution. They need the blame, because the blame gets them back into power to do the awful shit. That's why. And I want to see how this works, because, it's supposed to be a blue wave or whatever the case may be. But then these Medicaid cuts that they made when the big, beautiful bill.
That's what I was about to say.
All this stuff set up after the midterms. A lot of this stuff is supposed to happen after the midterms. So then what they're probably going to do when people start really getting hit after these midterms, Republicans, if they're not in power, they're just going to say the Democrats are ruining Medicaid. That's what legitimately they're going to say. They're going to blame the big, beautiful bill on the Democrats.
And there's not going to be anything anyone could say. The Democrats are not going to be able to say, well, we didn't vote for it.
Nope.
Right? They're not going to say, well, that's a Republican bill.
Nope.
It doesn't matter to the Republican constituents, that other 78 million people, that it was their politicians that voted for that shit.
Their politicians.
Right? Like and that's the part that gets me, is that they'll make all those cuts come in 2026 after the midterms or whatever. And we can't even disown it. I can't even be like, yo, that was them.
I know, because they'll say, we're not in power. And what the Republicans would do is what the Democrats should do in answering these questions. We're not in power. We didn't do it. They did it. Why? And then they'll say, well, then if we did it, why they not fixing it? Why they not fixing it? They don't want to fix it.
It's a mind fuck, man.
Yes, man. It's like a game. It's a game. Like, legitimately, it's all a game. And the difference about power and who can pull the most and who can convince the most bullshit with their constituents. And that's why people like Graham Plattner, they don't want to win. They don't want my man Abdul Saeed to win in Michigan. They don't want progressives to come in there, because then the narrative changes.
Yeah.
Why they not doing anything about it? They'll say, well, hell yeah, let's do something about it. And then they'll be on that bully mic, running their mouth, and then try to hold the actual establishment accountable when you're going to actually have to do and deliver for your constituents. I mean, Mandami, he's showing the blueprint of how to do it.
Yeah, it's the cornerstone of what progressivism could look like in this country. Right? It's honestly, that was when we talked about it way back, is that was That's the first block to fall. The most important city in America is now being ran well by a socialist.
Like, he's been married for 163 days. He's fully balanced the budget, secured budget for universal health care. Universal child care, filled 100,000 potholes, and the next one, the NBA finals.
And the next got a chip, baby. Hey.
Tell me socialism doesn't work.
He had me. Hey, if he ain't get nothing else but the chip.
You tell me socialism. You tell me when a politic that thinks about the working class people, that thinks about how can we make sure that people who are everyday working Americans have an opportunity to retire with dignity, have an opportunity to have generational wealth, have an opportunity to transfer their wealth from them to their children, to be able to have a 401k, affordable housing, a living wage. Tell me socialism doesn't work. A politic, a transformational politic that actually puts working class people first. Tim Miller knows it. He says we're fucked because of it. I don't think we're fucked. I think Maria Bartiromo, she knows it. She's saying it's radical.
It's radical.
But you tell me socialism doesn't work.
Well, what's not radical is that approximately 5 million Americans have lost health care since the subsidies didn't get passed.
Wow. That's not radical.
That's not radical.
And it's not even being talked about much in the media.
No one's mentioning it.
Nobody's discussing it.
Right? The Democratic politicians aren't mentioning it. That should be like the call to the midterms.
Even the way they're saying it, you have to watch them. We're just focused on affordability. How so? What is your plan for affordability?
Well, we got to fight Trump so we can make shit affordable again.
Like, if I hear one more fucking ad with somebody running for Democrat in some Senate
he has what it takes to fight Trump.
Oh my God!
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
You heard ad after ad, and I will fight back against Trump.
Yeah, no.
What?
Yeah, we don't care.
What are you gonna do? What is your fight? What does your fight against Trump look like?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Because at the end of the day, they also can use it if they're not careful as a way to make it look like they're going to do something. Once again, the virtue signaling, the platitudes that they play to it. Put me in office, I'll stop Trump. It's almost like when Republicans say, put me in office and we'll stop the liberals from doing this. It's the same thing on the other side. And it works. I'll bring the fight to Trump.
I'll tell you, no men in women's sports. That's what they tell their people.
Yeah. They'll swing to the left. They'll swing to the right. That's what they say. They're figuring on right wing issues or the border security, something that has nothing to do with populist policies.
Or you get Rahm Emanuel. Oh, we're gonna get wokeness. We're not gonna be woke anymore in the Democratic Party. Man, don't get the fuck out of here.
We won't be woke no more because we are aware about what's going on.
Get the fuck out of here, Rahm Emanuel.
Mr. Dipshit. He should not be. And think about, he is not going to run for president because Rahm Emanuel understands what is his constituency. Even when he was mayor of Chicago, he was a disaster. So what is his constituency? His constituency of people, like the same.
Who's like us voting for Rahm Emanuel?
Voting for him. Like, it's like when
that's just audacity, man.
That's all it is.
It's just audacity.
And then once again, let's figure out a way that we can run, because they understand, like the progressive Tea Party is here, man. Like the base. That's why I've been so jacked up about the fact that they're stopping with the purity politics stuff, man. Like, and Platinum, people showing, like, look, if we're gonna have people that are gonna lead these movements, they're not gonna be perfect people with the greatest prestige of the past. They're just not. I mean, most of us don't. You think about the shit that we do outside of being violent, people when nobody should be doing. Most of the shit is this dumb shit we've done.
Yeah, I think we should start rephrasing because the media already puts out all these hit pieces and tries to make it seem as though because you've done any bad in your life,
Yes.
that if you run and we accept it, that we're playing purity, or we don't accept it, when it comes to purity politics, it comes to criminal act. If you rape women,
Yes.
and we say no, we don't want our mayor or our governor or our president to be a rapist, that's not purity politics.
That's called right or wrong.
Yeah. I don't want my senators like being embezzlers or sex traffickers or any of these things. I don't want them doing that.
Not because of the fact that he might have been in some rough relationships and that sometimes women found unsettling. And because of that, he's not deemed for leadership. Where you look back at these people's background, the shit they got themselves caught up with. But because of the fact that their politics was a politic that fed the establishment, that was pro-establishment, well, no, I mean, hey, atonement. He deserves an opportunity because he's talking the way they want him to talk. But like you said, if you're somebody that's anti-establishment, I mean, we possibly can't have this guy. Are you kidding me? I mean, this guy, he has a possible bold. Like, it's funny that like, a Nazi tattoo. You know what a Nazi signature, the Nazi swastika looked like.
Yeah.
The tattoo that he had was like a skull and bones, where if you did not know, I didn't know they was even related to a Nazi tattoo. It was like a skull and bones, but apparently you can draw it down. It's some type of Nazi sympathy, XY. It wasn't even a swastika. I mean, I could straight up see if it was like a swastika, it'd be like, yo.
But even in this case,
like, damn, bro. Like,
if he had a swastika on his chest, right?
Be reformed, yeah.
If he had a hate crime against a Jewish person, if he was going out and beating up Jewish people or discriminating against Jewish people that he sold oysters to or anything like that, that's a completely different thing than a personal issue with yourself.
Exactly. But that's what they make you want to think.
Right? That's
why you can't leave, because you ain't the best in relationships.
Yeah.
Or that you cheated on your wife, or you had an issue and you cheated on your wife, obviously, but they went to counseling. His wife said they've done better. They overcame that, or no, because you did.
And cheating's bad.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a very human thing.
It's human.
Right? Like, almost everyone does it.
Yes.
In some form or fashion.
I condone
right?
it.
I'm not saying it's right. Right? But when we talk about purity politics, we just don't want you to be an actual criminal.
That's it.
That's it.
A criminal that hurts other people, that damages other people, that has brought some type of pain to others.
Yeah.
But we don't want you to be on the Epstein file over 38,000 times.
Yeah.
We don't want your name implicated with...
You can't support a genocide. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, yo, I'm going to go to office and then be like, yeah, with Israel, we're still going to send these dudes weapons.
You don't want your name on a flight log going to Epstein Island.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar, though. You know, 38,000 times mentioned in some files on a flight log, going to Epstein Island a couple times.
And we only got half the documents.
Wow.
And no one's really talking about that. A law was passed to get the documents out.
They said they're done giving them out.
A whole law was passed.
But the issue is Graham Plattner and his unsettling relationships.
Or the issue is people in Wisconsin, if this lady win, might make $160 a day minimum.
Guys, she may actually believe or may actually allow kids to not go hungry at night.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe you don't die waiting on medicine.
Or
go broke because you got some medicine.
Like, she wants to make sure people don't pay $20,000 a year in their kids' child care.
Yeah.
I mean, she wants to make sure a working class person.
Can you believe her?
Can you believe it? I mean, can you believe it? I mean, it's disgusting. Maria Bartiromo, Are you kidding me? Like, this is disgusting. Like tell me again.
Her policies include free childcare, a minimum wage of $20 an hour, publicly owned grocery stores, obviously increasing taxes on the rich and the highest earners. And she wants to ban the construction of data centers, Congress.
What?
Fair construction of data centers. Can't believe that. That libtard.
These libs. This was radical. $20 an hour minimum wage, even though $20 an hour still nowadays ain't
You
even.
ain't making no money.
You ain't making no money.
No, $20 an hour. You struggling. Not you struggling off $20 an hour in most places, especially if you have a family.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah.
Maria, why are they saying these crazy things, Maria? What the heck is that?
Her policies include free childcare.
What?
A minimum wage of $20.
What?
An hour. Publicly owned grocery stores.
What?
Taxes on the rich.
What?
And highest earners. And she wants to ban the construction of data centers, Congressman.
Oh my God.
And the truth of it is that the leaders, and not even the leaders, the politicians, the Republican politicians, they hate you. As a poor white person,
they loathe you,
which is the base of the block. They despise you. That's why they don't think a white man in Wisconsin should be allowed to make $160 a day. A white mom in a rural Wisconsin should not be able to, if she can't pay the $20,000 for healthcare a year, for childcare a year, she shouldn't get it.
She can get it.
That's what they think of you.
I'm in Nebraska, shouldn't get $6 a day, what SNAP equates out to.
Oh, it makes my stomach turn.
They just can't get $6 a day to feed their kids.
Republicans, matter of fact, I'm not even just going to go Republicans. White people, you need to understand these rich people hate you. They hate that you're poor.
Think that you're viable to worth working now. I think about it. They're trying to figure out ways with technology to eliminate you altogether from the equation.
Altogether. And they're rushing to do it.
And they're rushing. Data centers popping up everywhere.
There's these companies that are using AI, firing people, and then when they realize, oh, we don't have the absolute AI capacity to take to replace their jobs with AI, now we got to go get them back because my company's going under. They're in such a rush to replace you that they will jeopardize their business to get rid of you because now they don't have to pay AI.
And then if you looking, and then if you ain't careful, you bucking up and you complaining, then they building concentration camps.
Yeah, well, and they'll tell you, hey, if you don't like that we feel this way about you, we'll just move to Florida. We'll move to Texas. There's some white people down there that want us to hate them so bad. That's what these people think of you Republicans, of you poor white people. They hate you.
But they also know as long as they can tell you, like James Comer did, the rampant fraud is going on in minority communities. As long as they can make you think that somebody's taking from you and giving it somewhere else, or taking it from themselves, taking it from you and giving it from themselves. While once again, the people that are not in power, like that's the main angle they always play with, is that the people who aren't in power are the ones that are taking from you. Legitimately, that's kind of what. And then people don't critical think about that. Like, it's all those that are not in power. It's not because that we don't have minimum wage, we don't have a good condition of living. we don't have these things not because of the greediness of corporations, it's because of the decay of society and Pride Month. There's gays. There's trans people. That's the reason why that we have the decay of society.
They want to the drag queens want to read books to kids.
The drag queens are directly responsible for the wealth gap.
Yeah. It's because they want to read books to old folks.
That's it. Because of the fact of we got to ban, but the fact that people can read a book about love and certain books, that's the reason why that we have a shrinking GDP. That's the reason why 180,000 jobs were created. And you will have a whole voting bloc that will believe the reason why we're struggling as a country is because of moral decay and not the corporate sin of these corporations, and these people are in power who are screwing us day in and day out. Screwing us day in and day out. Screwing us day in and day out. And the reason why of that is because of some transgendered person. That's what they want you to believe. And a lot of you dumbasses believe it, to the point that you will vote against your best interest constantly because you feel that the decay of society is because of personal shit, not because of the corporate theft. Let's even go back since 1979, the $40 trillion, the $80 trillion transfer of wealth from the bottom to the top since 1979. That's because women are having abortions.
And they left the bill with you.
It's so ignorant.
Your government is $40 trillion in debt. Not only did they take $80 trillion from you, they left the bill with you. That's how much they hate you.
And they'll tell you, well, let's cancel student loans. Well, no. When I was a kid, I paid my own student loans. Yeah, at the time it was $5,000 a month to go to college, dumbass. Or it was free.
It was $5,000 for the whole to go to Harvard.
As Lauren Ingram says the other day, well, I put myself through college as a waitress. Yeah, in the fucking 1970s. And they'll have people think, well, if I didn't get my stuff forgiven, and then on top of that, if it gets forgiven, somebody's going to be left to pay for it. No, it's not. Loan forgiveness means it's no longer. Like, Mike, if you owed me $10 and I said, Punch, you know what, bro? Don't worry about the $10, man. Don't worry about it. It doesn't mean that you have to go and find that $10 for somebody else to fill the spot. Or I have to go somewhere else and say, hey, man, I forgave Punch's $10 that he owed me, so I need the $10 from you. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
No forgiveness, wiping out debt means it's wiped out. It doesn't have to be paid back. But they tell you, we can't do that. We can't see a utopia where people actually have a good standard of living. They would do that if they just go back to church. And we stop with these pride months. And we stop with all this wokeness. And we ban books. And we talk about critical race theory and how it needs to be eliminated from our curriculum, even though it's not. It's a fucking college course. That's how we change things.
We got to build more prisons and get more police officers.
We need more police. That's what we need. That's it.
Yeah, we got to back the blue.
Back the blue. We just ain't got enough cops. We don't need a reform. We just need more cops.
Yeah. We don't need people out of abject poverty. We need more prisons.
That's why.
That's what your politicians think of you.
That's what they think of you. That's how little they think of you.
They hate you.
They think that you're stupid.
Oh, they know you're stupid.
That you're stupid.
They know you're stupid.
MAGA chud.
Yeah.
Talk to now. You MAGA idiots.
Yeah, they know you're stupid. They don't think it. They know
you're stupid.
Yeah.
As long as they get them to pissed off, talk about the libtards.
Yeah. As long as you can tell people they're chimping out and you can say the N-word, you have your freedom.
God, bro.
Because that's all they wanted. That's all the Republicans want to do with their freedom. That's all these poor whites want to do with their freedom is be offensive. Right?
Once again, war is bad. Now war is great. Nothing wrong with it. Tariffs are bad. Not what Trump says. Tariffs are great. These people don't stand for anything. Oh, we need the Epstein files released. Now it is, well, you guys talking about the Epstein files trying to bring down Trump. Like, these people stand for nothing. A know nothing, do nothing, political, not even political, a cult, death cult of personality, which is MAGA. It's just running this country right now in terms of the man that's on top. And then you see what he's doing. He don't even give a fuck. He doesn't care.
He in the White House sleeping and farting.
Sleep half the time. While people talking.
He's sleeping. My man called a press conference to take a nap.
Oh man.
It's unreal.
This stuff is just
if Biden was caught sleeping as much as he was caught sleeping.
They literally call him Sleepy Joe.
Jake Tapper will write a book.
Why?
That's what would happen.
Why did you fucking book, Jake Tapper?
That's what happened. Jake Tapper would write a book. The liberal media would write a book.
You audition for Barry Weiss to take over CNN with your Zionist ass. Where is the fucking book, Jake Tapper? Where is it? Because see, it's funny. I think we talked about this the other day, how sometimes at the end of the day, capitalism needs fascism.
It's the only option.
As especially this late stage.
It's the only option.
Like the only way you can maintain it is some type of form of authoritarian fascism has to become in order to get the people to not dissent against it.
Sooner or later, it's going to have to be done by force.
Yep.
Period.
And that's why at the end of the day, you'll see Democrats and you'll see they'll rather go for Nazi or fascist sympathizers like a Susan Collins, a John Fetterman. Because at the end of the day, they don't, what's the word? They don't turn over the turnip truck. They don't, they don't out of the cage.
Yeah, they don't want to turn the apple cart over.
There it is. That's it. And they'll rather deal with that than and plunge us into oppression and plunge us into more wealth inequality and plunge us more into poverty as 800,000 people in this country are homeless. A lot of those being veterans who fought for the fucking country and they're on the street as he cuts VA benefits.
While Spencer Bright just calls them drug addicts.
While Brian Kilmeade just says kill them off.
Yeah.
They're just druggies anyway.
Yeah. You euthanize them.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. You just euthanize them. And all he had to do was apologize.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it.
But he did. It's simple. Because right wing is simple. They're poor because they're losers.
Yeah.
Even though
you're poor because of you.
If you dig deep, a lot of in California, people who are homeless, they work full-time jobs. A lot of these people, they just can't afford a place to live. As Madami now is legitimately putting in affordable housing in New York right now as we speak.
Looking to build 200,000 new homes. Holding landlords accountable.
Yes, he already did. I think he made the biggest landlord in the city have to pay back all back rent because they weren't just slumlords.
Yeah.
Like government can really work for you.
It should.
It's supposed to be for the people.
By the people. For the people.
But they make you think, but that's radical.
That's radical. Yeah, it's radical.
That's
that your socialist mayor would fix 100,000 potholes? I can't believe him.
Like instead of just giving it to the contractors of the city where they do a half-ass job, take forever to do it, and get and overcharge to do it. or during the wintertime, the snowstorm,
It just makes too much sense. If
Sorry.
you weren't radical,
instead of charging those snow removal companies, just hire regular New Yorkers, pay them $30 an hour, and let them go out there do the shoveling themselves and put the tax dollars right in their hand.
that's radical, bro.
That's
that the people in your city could work for your city, to do stuff for your city, paid by themselves. Radical, disgusting. That what that socialism? What did he say? We were doomed. We're fucked because of the socialism.
At the end of the day, we don't want this.
See, increasing taxes on the rich.
I want that.
Childcare.
Nope.
A wage of $20.
No, thank you.
I want it.
Own grocery stores.
No, thank you.
See, increasing taxes on the rich.
No, thank you.
And the highest earners. And she wants to ban the construction of data centers, Congressman. Your thoughts?
No, thank you. And then that congressman says all that is radical.
Radical ideology, man. To think that is just so off the spectrum. Like, no normal person will come up with that type of shit if they were really just thinking about it.
Like that 16% of people that are against that, those are the moderates. The 84% that's for it, that's radical.
Yeah.
How do we pay for it? Oh, how much we need to give to the military industrial complex?
1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion is what they want. So we could go kill some more people in Cuba.
As we have our first trillionaire.
He has a larger net worth than all but 20 countries, I think.
That shit needs to be taxed to oblivion.
Yeah, and they wrote all kind of loopholes and incentives for him to, like, they changed the rules for this IPO.
Unbelievable.
You know? And it's like
unbelievable.
He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Him and his apartheid daddy.
Oh yeah. But he's a corporate welfare queen. He's
a welfare
queen. He took a shit ton of government contracts to SpaceX. Billions.
Well, Tesla, you know, the whole you can't even buy a different kind of electric vehicle. You can only get the ones that are here. You can't just go get a $8,000 electric vehicle that parks itself from China and come bring it back.
Nah.
That's a no-no.
Nah.
But I'll give you a credit to buy a Tesla. I'll give you a tax credit to buy a Tesla.
Oh my God. You hear these idiots talk about, the first trader, this is great. No, it's for who? For who?
What does him being a trillionaire change for me?
For who?
For an overvalued company pushing AI.
Well, this is like for oligarchy shit.
It's the Gilded Age.
The Gilded Age. Like Kanye said, no one man should have all that power, bro. That's all that is, because with that type of money, you use democracies cannot survive when that type of money is being generated they're going to one people or a few people. It can't survive.
I heard someone say we're closer to Jeff Bezos than Jeff Bezos is to Elon Musk.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. They said if you took his money and $100 bills, you can go from here to the moon and back 5 times.
Elon Musk money?
Yeah. If you took $1 trillion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He has $1,000 billion. That's what he has.
But it's great.
And $1 billion is really an unfathomable number.
Because it's showing us that anybody can be a trillionaire, even though he's the only fucking one.
He's the only one. He's not even from here.
He's a racist.
No, we gotta get rid of the immigrants, man. The richest immigrant. An immigrant is the richest person in the world. And he got hit that in our country. But you can't, as a poor white Mississippian farmer, You can't even make $160 a day without them thinking you getting all these handouts.
Hey, like Tim Miller said, I guess like Tim Miller said, eventually we're fucked.
We're fucked. God, we got to end up with socialism and pitchforks.
All right, y'all. We're done. I hope them pitchforks don't come. Tell you, man, them pitchforks come out, bro. Ain't out yet. I wonder, but then it's out. It's gonna be a lot of them that don't. That's gonna have those pitchforks. They ain't gonna be looking like us.
No, you got.
Cause what state we vote? That's a whole other podcast, a whole other day. All right, y'all, we're done. Thank you for that round robin. Our podcast we always tell ourselves we try to do, like a guide, like a rundown, and we do have one, but it's just like it always just goes off because it's like a big web and so many different shit. It's all like one man in the center of it, and then it kind of like branches out in socioeconomics and then how it branches out in terms of microcosms of society with sports and then disconnects here, and then you got this corruption here and this politician here, and then you can go from here talking about Grand Platinum, and now we're talking about the Iran war, talking about the wealth gap. I mean, you just keep everything in some type of way. This stuff all connects. Kind of what Trump calls it, the weave. A weave. Even though it's just him bloviating. We ain't bloviating here. They give you fact, and we give you a lot of clips. So a lot of times when we say something, it's one thing us saying it, but we want you to hear it. So we just play the clip. Because a lot of times you realize a lot of shit that people don't hear, people don't listen to because they're just busy, don't get around to it. So then when you can hear a clip like that and you see what Fox News is talking about, and if you even a Fox News viewer yourself or somebody that maybe leans right, you look at those things and say how those things cannot be beneficial to your life as a regular working class person. How can it not be? When you're paying the taxes and we got guys becoming trillionaires, multi-billionaires.
While you footing the bill.
While you fitting the bill.
You footing the bill.
All right, y'all, we done, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening. Y'all know what we try to do here. I correctly mistaken. And we're not going to give it up. We're trying to get people back to critical thinking and caring for the other. Until next time, man. God, I feel like I could go another 25 minutes sometimes, but we can't. Because then when I do these, I think about other stuff. Like I could have said that, but whatever. It's always next week, good Lord willing.
You gotta write it down.
Before I ask your boy Punch, what did I just say there? As for my man Punch, I feel like I've really been tongue-tied today, like speaking. I don't even want to play this back. Cause I feel like I'm just tongue-tied today for some kind of reason. But for my man Punch, I'm your boy Osei, man. This is Correctly Mistaken Podcast. Y'all be blessed. See y'all next week, man. Peace. And watch out for that $20 minimum wage. We don't want that.
You don't want that.
Disgusting. Gross. Be blessed, y'all. Peace.